What is going on? Mr. Crazy1870 and I'm back with my full and final thoughts on the iPhone XR. And before the phone was even released, there was also a lot of hype. There was also a lot of negative talk. But hopefully with this video, I could kind of help out with sharing my experience with the phone and see if the phone is even worth the pickup. So I want to go ahead and kick this video off by saying that I found the phone to be a perfect size for a one-handed operation. Whether it was from sending a quick email, sending a quick message, or even just catching a quick movie on a one-handed mode, felt pretty comfortable. Now the phone felt a little bit tall, but nonetheless pretty comfortable. You also have Face ID on the iPhone XR, which for the most part, it worked flawless. A couple misfires here and there, not a big deal. Now when I threw on some sunglasses, I did encounter a little bit of an issue, but I went into settings and I was able to kind of work around it. So everything worked out smooth. So you're all rocking a 12 megapixel shooter on the iPhone XR, and you are gonna notice a little bit of a difference. You do not have any zoom. So if you're gonna pick this phone up, you are gonna have to zoom with your feet. But in all reality, I could care less because I never use that feature anyway. I did take a couple shots in photo mode on the iPhone, and some of the shots were pretty decent, but even though I kind of still wish that some of my images came out with a little bit more detail, and just in general, my images would just pop a little bit more. Portrait mode is the mode that I used the most when it came to this phone. I felt that some images came out with a lot more detail and some of my images just popped, I guess, a lot more. Although don't get me wrong, some images were kind of spot on, well balanced, very clear, very colorful. But then again, some images, which I tested this out on Halloween, and I felt that they came out a little bit too warm, where it kind of made our faces look a little bit reddish. But you also got this really cool feature where you could play around with your f-stop. Now, if you take an image and drop your f-stop all the way down, you pretty much blow out the background and pretty much come up with some pretty dope looking images. I also shot a couple of 1080p clips, and when it comes to low light, I did encounter a little bit of grain on some of my shots, but I also encountered a little bit of a crazy looking light shift. So I don't know if it's part of the whole adjusting to the light, but I also shot my dog Dexter and I got a pretty clean, crisp video clip. There's also face detection on the iPhone XR. One thing to keep in mind is that it's only gonna detect your face. So all those cool shots of your coffee, you're gonna have to throw those out the window. Let's talk a little bit about the liquid retina display found on the iPhone XR. Now it is a LCD panel. It is a modified LCD panel. Now it's the same panel found on the iPhone 8 or the iPhone 7 with improved color accuracy. You also got haptic touch. Now it's not 3D touch, but it is a long press with a vibration. If you're coming from an iPhone 8 or an iPhone 7 or maybe a little bit older, you might not be able to tell the difference, maybe a little bit, the minor tweaks. Obviously you are gonna get better visuals on the OLED panel, but I still don't think this is a bad display. So what you don't get is 3D touch, and after a couple of days of using the phone, I did notice right away that there wasn't that feature, so it was missed on the XR. What you are gonna notice is that huge bezel going around the screen, and I kind of wish it was just a little bit thinner, but in all reality, it kind of does stand out and could get a little bit annoying after some time. You're still gonna find the same A12 Bionic chip as you find on the iPhone XS. And even though the XR has 1 gig of RAM less, I did not see a decrease in performance. Everything was still smooth. I tried it with a little bit of gaming, multitasking from website to website, Instagram, Snapchat, a little bit of emails here, messages there, no lag at all. Now, what I did notice is a increase in my battery life, and my morning starts from 2:30 a.m. and my day ends at 10 o'clock at night, and I will still go to sleep with a good amount of a battery life. Now the speakers on the iPhone XR, they're also a little bit different, and the first time I experienced and listened to the difference was when my alarm hit at 2:30 in the morning. The alarm actually it actually sounded a lot more louder, and the speakers were just a little bit more deeper. And this is all compared to, like, let's say the iPhone 8 or the iPhone 7. So I kind of wish that the XR was priced at 650 bucks instead of 750, but it is what it is. It is 250 bucks cheaper than the XS. Personally, if it was me right now walking into the Apple store, I would probably cough up 250 and jump on a XS just because of that gold color and also that OLED panel. Now, if it was my son, for example, he would probably jump on the 10R and save those 250 bucks and pretty much use it for his Fortnite or whatever is it that he does when he does that gaming stuff. So, I mean, it really all depends on your situation. You are going to get a pretty solid phone with some compromises. Nonetheless, hope you guys like my full review on the 10R. Don't forget to check out the 2 latest videos. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. All the links in the video description. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Later.